Alright, so it's been a while. I've been using Android 13 based Evolution X for the Poco X3 Pro. It's been more than a week actually while I was doing a lot of things, and I've come pretty impressed with these initial builds of Android 13. Now, mind you, Android 13 is not really a major upgrade when it comes to comparing to Android 12 or 12.1, but nonetheless, there are some changes, and custom ROMs like these will definitely make you interested and exciting. So hold up for today's review of Evolution X 7.0 based on Android 13 for the Poco X3 Pro. I've ran the benchmarks. We have multiple days of, battery usage and stuff. What's working, what's not working. Stay tuned till the end of the video. But before we get into the details, if you haven't already, please subscribe because it doesn't cost you anything and it really motivates us to make amazing content like this. Now, without further ado, hello awesome people. Welcome to PhoneOps. My name is Kailash. Let's get going. Alright, now first things first, let's see what we have here. We have Evolution X 7.0 official. Devices, of course, Poco X3 Pro. It works on Vayu and Bima both. And Android version is 13. Build date is the 2nd of September 2022. Now, as you can see, it is an initial Android 13 release. August security patch. Bring up Evolver for Android 13. So the customizations are here to stay. Update carrier settings for Android 13. Update RRO overlays for Android 13. Using Kyrillite kernel as default, many major changes and improvements under the hood. This is a beta build, so understand Android 13 stable is still new, so there might be a few bugs in custom ROMs, so stay ready for that. OS based include GApps, firmware, any firmware is fine. SE Linux status is enforcing, safety net should be passing, and yeah. That's a lot of stuff for the latest Android version, and that's what custom ROMs do to your amazing smartphone. Now, let's quickly, increase the brightness a little bit over here. Now, the moment you boot onto the home screen, you will see it is a very familiar layout. You have the search bar at the bottom. You have some icons here and there. You do have few applications installed, although this is a custom ROM, a AOSP based ROM, so there's not a lot of bloatware that you will find. To the left, of course, you have your all familiar Google feed, which in my opinion works like a charm. So there's nothing to worry about it at all, right? As you can see, the fluidity with Android 13 is brilliant. Now, that is one highlight that I would like to speak about. From Android 12.1, when you come to Android 13, something that has improved is the consistency of scrolling. The animations are much better. If you have a look over here, if I'm opening and closing Chrome, it feels much more polished now. That is the beauty of Android 13. And the app icon animations are really amazing. That is what I have liked so far about this new version of Android. Another thing to note over here is that you have one app is active over here. What are the active apps? We have AccuBattery measuring our battery performance. Then you have a settings shortcut over here at the bottom. You do have the reboot menu, which gives you access to advanced reboot as well. Surprisingly though, I did look for caffeine over here. I was not able to locate caffeine, but there are quite a lot of other features as far as these quick tiles are concerned, and that should definitely add to your experience. Now, it goes without saying that Monet UI is present in this particular custom ROM because of course it is there since Android 12 and it is doing a brilliant job. For example, let's quickly go ahead and use the quick wallpaper chooser, and there you go. And the moment you do that, yes. So another thing to note over here, Monet is now more system wide. It is more cohesive, more smooth. It adapts to the colors much more quickly, which is a good thing. Once again, let's quickly, maybe switch to a different wallpaper, sort of a pixel wallpaper here. There you go. And yep, works like beauty, right? Now, apart from this, if you press and hold on the home screen, you will also have access to your Android 13 widgets, which are slightly different, not so different at all. As you can see, there is a big watch over here, and then you have the search bar for your widgets, and all the widgets are available as always. Now, if you go to home settings over here, as you can see, you do get your Pixel Experience Launcher from Android 13, and that's doing a great job. Now, if we talk about multitasking, it is smooth as butter. You will just love it when you use it. Trust me on that. And there is no major issue or concern. But I have to say this again. The scrolling, the smoothness of the UI on Android 13 is something else. You have the screenshot shortcut over here. You have your select text option. Those are available and working as expected. And then at the top, you do have all the information that you get in most of the custom ROMs. And you also get screen recording. Oh, caffeine is there. See, I located caffeine. I was looking for it elsewhere. It's there in my quick tiles. Anyways, so you can record internal and external audio. This is the initial phase of Android 13 builds. So there's not much options that are available. And as you can see, the recording has started. And I cannot notice any major lags or jitteriness in the UI. There is a slight stutter and jitter, but again, this is the initial build, so expect some hiccups here and there. As you can see, the recording has started and I cannot notice. Okay, so the slight audio glitch, it going up and down is still present. I'm really sure they will, fix it in the upcoming updates. Now, let's actually go to settings over here. The moment you go to settings, you go to about, you click on Android version, you will see this is Evolution X version 7 and the name over here is Eve. You do get August security patch and the build date is the 24th of August 2022, right? Now, build maintainer is unknown and these are the statistics as far as the security is concerned. Now, SE Linux status is enforcing. Safety net should be passing just fine. All that information is very, very vital. If you want to use banking information, Play Protect certified on your device, no issues there. And if we talk about DRM info, let's quickly go ahead and install that app. There you go. Widevine L1 is present. That means you should be able to play Amazon Prime and Netflix in HD. No problems there at all. Very, very nice thing to do. Now, apart from this, in settings, you have everything that is similar to Android 12. So, no major changes there. I do see an option of mobile plan over here, probably something that has been added in this particular update. There is something called as the Evolver. Now, they have brought it up to Android 13. There might be a few features which might be a hit and miss. So we'll not really get into the details of the Evolver, but there are a lot of customization options. I'm showing all the sub menus one by one. You can quickly have a look. And trust me, most of them are working as expected, which is a really, really neat thing for the latest Android version. Now, apart from this, if you talk about animations, we have CRT animation over here. So let's see. There you go. So CRT animation once again is working fine. Your ambient display is present. It works fine. Fingerprint scanner calling working absolutely as expected. Let's go back to the Evolver before we talk about other stuff over here. You do have miscellaneous over here, always on display schedule. I would not recommend you to use always on display because of course, this is LCD panel. So, you have this dedicated option, show temperature warning, USB configuration can be selected, and look at this jitter. Look at this part. There is some jitter, but it is way better than Android 12, which is really, really neat. So, customizations galore, no problems there. But what about the performance, you ask? And before we get into performance, let me tell you, it does come with a very, very basic camera application. And I've not tried any Gcam or ANX port on Android 13 with Magist. So I'm soon going to try that. But basic picture taking needs can be taken care of by this default camera application. Now, let's talk about the performance numbers. First things first, let's talk about Antutu benchmark over here. 588,732. These are the individual scores, not the highest score, mind you, but the temperature did increase by 7 degrees. That's probably the highest that I've seen on a Poco X3 Pro's custom ROM, and the battery did drop by 4%. So the kernel is probably pushing the device hard for performance, and there are some ROMs like Derpfest on which we have seen that you do get scores of around 600,000 despite not having this much heat. Now, let's talk about Geekbench over here, which will give us a clear indication of how good the gaming can be. 760 single core, 2740 multi-core. So definitely these are very good single and multi-core scores, and it should give you a very, very decent gaming experience. Now, what about the CPU throttling test, you ask? Now, as you can see over here, I did run the CPU throttle test for 15 minutes and it did throttle to 88%, and the average score was 197,952 GIPS. Now, in my opinion, that is low. The highest was 211,3037 GIPS. So yes, the CPU throttling score and the Antutu score are not the best, but again, beta build, initial stuff, very good for an initial build, and it's doing a pretty decent job as well. Now, before we wrap this video up, let me actually show you the battery numbers as well. First, we will have a look at the discharging history over here. Now, 100 to 66% in 117 hours. The phone was on standby most of the time, and the standby drain is excellent, 0.2% per hour. So that's brilliant. And when I was actually using it actively, it was pretty decent. As you can see, 87 to 63%. That was the battery drain, but the charging speeds on this ROM are pretty decent too. In about 1 hour 20 minutes using the original 33-watt charger, I was able to top up this guy to up to 100%, and it did last me really long. So smooth UI, amazing customization, latest version of Android, banking application safe, media consumption can be done, and gaming is pretty decent as well. That's Android 13 based Evolution X7 for you. Let me know in the comment section if you want me to make a dedicated gaming review with Apex Mobile and Call of Duty Mobile. This video will also be available in Hindi on our Hindi channel, that is PhoneOps Hindi. Until the next one, this is Kailash signing off at PhoneOps. Keep smiling, take care, goodbye.